Welcome back. In this episode, I will show you a very easy to use and practical process to bring elements from Blender as two-dimensional drawings over into AutoCAD. Because while 3D modeling is pretty fun, at one point, we also have to create two-dimensional architectural drawings, plan view, elevation view, section view. And that's kind of like what we will do here. So things which we will create will look like this at the beginning. So if I go into a top view and select these elements, there you can see they highlight particular parts. There's an elevation view, for example, or here's another elevation view that shows more the interior. So it's kind of like a section view. And down here, I have also the plan view with the floor and such. Okay. So the process I'm showing you, as you can see, is at the beginning three-dimensionally informed. Well, we do a three-dimensional model, so I will create these extractions of mesh lines actually, also in three-dimensional space. This might be a little bit uncommon for the straight up 2D drafter, but why not? Now think about it this way. We 3D model, we explore a space in three-dimensional space, and then at one point we need to, from these models, create two-dimensional representations. So how did I actually create these pieces? This is like super easy. So let me turn this off. And then here is the main building. There we are. Here's also the wall. I press Shift H to hide everything else. So now I would like to create a plan view. So at one point, meaning we will cut through the whole space. For example, let's see, which one is it? Here, section cube, there. I'm pushing this one down. Good. There. Perfect. So now if we take a look from the top, this is what we would see. And these elements now I would like to bring over into AutoCAD. But as you can see, this is a three-dimensional model. So what's the easiest way here to do this? You will be surprised how easy this actually really is. I will go ahead in edit mode and select all the faces here at the bottom. And I start with the bottom simply because here in this case, it really is very easy. There we are, very good. And then here, this piece, there. So the next step is I press Shift D to make a copy of the geometry and press Escape so it does not move anywhere else. Then I go to Mesh and go to, where is it? Separate, there, and move this out. Basically what this means, it will take this selected geometry and move this into a new container. I will leave edit mode. And then there is this piece. I will press M and say new collection. Not new collection. I press M and say here go to scene collection. And this I will call floor, or actually wall. There. Very good. Then this I can turn off, and there is our piece. Okay. So I just, as a disclaimer, I use this from the foundation profile because I know when we cut through, this still at the height where I cut will represent it. Okay, so we now can clean this up a little bit. I go into edit mode, I press A, select everything and say remove, did I say press X? Press X to remove only faces, there. The faces are gone, the mesh is still left, so all these edges. Then on this edge I can now delete, can do a little bit more of cleanup work. there's one line. Oh, there's one line. So you, and you all go take a break. Very good. That's pretty nice. I can go to point select and see if there anywhere else an anomaly. Yeah, there is. So this point here, X, and dissolve these 2 points, X, and dissolve you too. What? You can't dissolve? Ah, there's still a line in between. Dissolve that edge. Okay, then delete this edge and dissolve these points. Ta-da. Very good. Okay. See? Super easy. I will show the building here one more time. Go to this object, Shift H, hide everything else, go into edit mode. Here I will select these points, Shift D and escape, P and separate. That's the key shortcut. H, hide this, and then this with M, I move into scene collection. Very good. Like this, show this. 7 for the top view. Go into edit mode. So here, these 2 points I can select. I have this turned on, snapping. Shift D, make a copy, Control and snap to there. Select this, Shift D, hold Control, snap it to there. Very good. Then there you see, I can move this down, hold Control, snap it to there. You saw these 2 points were fused together. I have this function here turned on, and that fuses points automatically together. And this point is incorrect. Hold Control, snap it to there. There we are. Cool. Okay. So you see, there's actually now our, plan view. But there's one problem. You see where it is in 3-dimensional space. It's actually, it is kind of like where it should be, but it's not where necessarily I need this one to be later in AutoCAD. Because in AutoCAD, we do 2-dimensional drawing. So 2 pieces to clean up, just out of precaution. In object mode, I select each object, right click, and then I say set the origin to the geometry. And then here I can say you go to Z0. So what does this Z0 mean? This grid you see, think about this as our plotter paper. We just put the lines directly on the paper, not above, not below. We can even give these objects logical names so that we know what they are for. Because you notice Blender only allows you to have one object have one individual name. You can't have 3 objects be called wall, otherwise it would be numbered, because the name is actually an ID. Okay, very good. So let's continue one more piece. How do we do the window for this wall? That's going to be interesting. So I will go into edit mode, and then this is now a matter of preference. You can select these complete rectangles. They give you then, how could I say that, the left and right edge, plus they also give you the length. So this line and these shorter lines, so the wall thickness. So there we are, nearly done. These are parts in the video where you can always scrub forward if you know what's coming. Here, the store, I will select this one because it's pretty much seen from the top exactly the same. So same deal, Shift D, escape, P for separate, selection, and object mode, select this one, M, and scene collection, turn this off. And now I call this one door window. Actually, wall. So it makes sense because we also have window in the ceiling. There you can see now this is all a little bit crazy, the way how they are kind of like leveled. So I will do a little trick. Along the z-axis, I will collapse this one down to 0. Flop. So it's flat. And then I will go into here and say apply scale. Now the scale is set to 1 again, but this is nice and straight. Right click, origin to geometry, Z for the ground, it is, edit mode, so tab A, X, this only faces, tab, done. I really like working this way because you have then one file, clean walls, one file, clean wall for the garden wall. We could actually go ahead if we want to be special and select these 2 points and do an F. So we fill there a line in. No? And then we also have here these icons. Later in AutoCAD, because it's a question of how do you want to stack everything, I can bring these 2 drawings, the wall and the window door openings, into AutoCAD, and then use it as snapping targets to, for example, create my wall fill. And I have this as a boundary for where the window would be. Yeah, okay. Or alternatively, I hide this just for those who would like to do this. Here I will go in, and now this is a little bit more click intensive. So I select only these edges I want. And Shift D and escape and P and separate. And object mode, M scene collection, hide this. Same process. And scale there. Okay, good. And there you see how they overlay there. Okay, very good. Good. So now you see, not actually very complicated. Let's take a look at the this part. How do we do this? This is actually quite interesting because here we have also a little bit of overlapping geometry. So we could be really lazy and simply collapse the whole piece and remove all the faces. Or we could also say, so this is this is what we will see from the plan view. Now we don't really see these faces, by the way. So that means, okay, you. All you will come with me. Sock. There. Shift D and escape. P and separate. Tab. Where is this piece? That is that piece. Very nice. M. Scene collection. Hide this. And then here we'll call this maybe floor top or plan. Let me know which floor it is, because it could also be part of the section view now. Yeah, same deal here now. We need to collapse it. There we are. Kaboom. Apply scale, right click there and 0. Very good. Yeah, and then we can, in edit mode, delete all the faces, and then we can clean this up more. So because this does not make any sense. These lines we have here. Whoops, not you. Yeah, actually, maybe I leave this one. I leave these in because they define the difference between the concrete and the soil. X and you delete these edges. Okay. And then there might be a little bit of extra cleanup. So you see there are some extra lines. So what we can do here then is with everything selected, we go to mesh, clean up, and say merge by distance. Very good. We can also go to this view and see where are points that can be dissolved. So that's gone. That's good. Perfect. And see, this is now super clean. These are these lines will indicate where there are the different plateaus now, because these are the ramps. Technically speaking, I think for the ramp, these will go. Yeah. Okay, now, so I think you start noticing how functional this is from the 3D model. We can so easily create our AutoCAD drawing without having to redraw everything, which can be really very labor intensive. So all this, very nice. How do we bring this over into AutoCAD? Now we have this nicely put onto the ground. Now this is up to you to decide. Do you want to throw it all at AutoCAD as one file, or wouldn't it be smarter to export it as piece by piece? So here is the exporter. My hard disk is spinning up. There we are. Projection top. This all stays only selected, and then we call this one floor plan. Did I say floor plan? Actually, oh, floor plan. It should be floor plan view. Wah, wah. There. Here are the walls. So export wall.dxf. And if I click this, export, these are door, window. Okay, so let's go to AutoCAD. How do we open this? Well, we just go to open. Based on what system you're on, options, you want to switch from DWG to DXF. DWG is kind of like the standard format for sharing AutoCAD drawings. DXF, data exchange format, is it's actually really old, but still it's a perfect format to exchange information about lines, etc. And you saw, or basically what else? No, you didn't see, but I said that the DXF is not only 2D but also 3D. Again, this is why I really like Blender and AutoCAD together. So file format, DXF, there is my wall. Open, zoom out. There we are. You see? Then I could go open and, for example, say window and door. There they are. Select them all. I can copy them, go to here, and paste them. And paste them for the moment to here, because what I would like to do first is here I will create a layer wall. I will create a layer window, door. I just put this together so I can group these. And then all this, I select, right click, and say move to layer, this one. And then all this, right click, move to layer, and wall. Very good. Now then, this way I can turn them all on and off. And now we need to position this. Me working in AutoCAD always feels like I'm being punished. I really do not like this program. It feels so outdated, but in some areas it is simply also very good. We have to give it to them. So you see how I moved it to this one part, and then I select everything. And now what I will do is I will say, you move over to there. But here's kind of like a snap target. But do this horizontally. Well, it's very easy. Here. Calculate the snap target. You see it's a dashed line. Doop, 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 doop. Suck. There we are. Perfectly positioned. No? It's a little bit of copy and paste, yeah. I mean, but bringing this over and having to redraw this in AutoCAD is also a lot of work. And if your 3D model is crafted well, and then it you don't have really much work. You can just literally create these views and bring these over into AutoCAD. So I'm going to show one interesting mistake maybe that could happen. So here is the wall for the garden wall, GZ, and I move this one down. Okay, now, so, and we bring this over to AutoCAD. Top view, can call this wall garden. Yep. All good. Perfect. So I will open this. There we have it. So when I go to there and then go into a 3D view, there you can see how, like in Blender, the line work is under the grid. But essentially, how could I say that? Blender and AutoCAD are 3D modelers, with AutoCAD just having more architectural drafting engineering stuff. We use AutoCAD for interior design, but civil engineering, manufacturing, I mean, AutoCAD is kind of like the tool for everything. And it has also 3D modeling built in. Well, I don't really want to model in 3D in AutoCAD, but it has it, telling you basically it is like Blender, a 3D modeler with much better drafting. Anyway, the reason why I pointed this out is just so you understand how these programs are just interfaces for, however, the same tool set of how we manipulate three-dimensional geometry. So I copied this. I go to here. And I will paste this to there. Okay. Now you see it is still misplaced. And here I will make a new layer, call this wall garden. Then this I will also move to there. Thank you. And now, simply via the move command, or you type in move, I say from there, please move this to there. Ta-da! See, that's it. So super easy. So even if this mistake happens, it's super easy to correct this actually later in AutoCAD. So, reflected ceiling plan. How do we get the reflected ceiling plan then into AutoCAD? Now, the reflected ceiling plan essentially is you stand somewhere and, well, you look up, and that's kind of like what you would see. So, how can we create everything for that reflected ceiling plan? Super easy. Shift H with everything else selected. And now all I need to do is kind of like select what I would see. So there you see I'm selecting kind of like all these faces first there. Oh, yeah, that pretty much is it. I would say. Wait. Here. Nope, not you. And yeah, that piece is selected then too. Okay, good. This will be interesting because it's kind of like an overhang. And there's stuff above it, but this is actually right flush under the ceiling. Yeah. Okay, so with that, now same process. Shift D and escape. P and separate, tab, leave edit mode, go to object mode, select this piece, then M, and here, move this out. We can hide this. So you see how this is all at different levels. And at the beginning of the video, I was talking about how I had everything kind of like selected, or not selected, moved kind of like left and right. This comes from box drawing. I'm also trained. I took my drawing classes in graphic design, fine arts, life drawing, architectural drawing, jewelry drawing, industrial design drawing, and they all have very different flavors. But essentially, in the end, it's all we work three-dimensional. So the way how I 3D model is also very much influenced by my sketching process, because it's called box modeling or box drawing, box sketching. Anyway, I'm talking too much here. In object mode, Z is for 0 and enter, very nice. And then we go apply scale, then we go into edit mode, and then we have to do a little bit of cleanup. So I have to be careful now what we remove now. So this and this, yeah, that will go. Yep. Oh, this is, yeah, this stays actually, because this is the wall that goes up there. And here I will delete these pieces first. A, X, and only faces. Oh, look at that. Ta-da. So this is actually an edge, which kind of like indicates where here the ceiling is higher, here the ceiling is lower. So there's this point. I will dissolve these points. Same here, dissolve vertex. Also here we can do a little bit of cleanup. Okay, also maybe, oh, there's another one. And then we can go to mesh and do another cleanup, merge by distance. So then this might or not work. Okay, now here you see, for example, how this line was projected, but these window elements, now they are maybe not selected. So this brings up another interesting topic now, or point. How do we continue here? So this is kind of like actually the edge we would see also with these openings. So right in Blender, we can go ahead and try to clean up some of the stuff. So you see there's a really long line. So not this one. I try to hit this line. I don't find it. So I delete this line. I have delete this line. Oh, there were multiple lines. Okay, good. No big deal. F here, fill there. What do we have there? So from there to there, we can delete this, and then simply with F fill this in. Also here, I put a lot of F fill commands in. Yeah, it's not really very labor intensive. Takes a moment to do, and then you're kind of like done. So from there to there, there's an edge we don't need. Yeah. Okay, very good. Here, this actually I leave. I do not put these lines in, because when we overlay this with the wall, we would actually see this anyway. Yeah, so I mean, this is basically now how the part for the ceiling could be created. We can try to verify this for one moment. So with this piece and this, Shift H, hide everything, Control 7, or we click on the Z here. Then we can see, good, does this all line up? Yeah, it makes sense. Now you see this line corresponds to this edge. That is correct. This line we would only see from the outside, but when we're inside, this is the line we see. Very good. How are things here? Oh, look at that. You see there is actually a step. Oh, no, I have this one there too. Here we have this. Very nice. Yeah, here this goes to there and this goes to there. Yeah, I think this is actually pretty solid. So this whole thing is ready to be exported. It is at Z0, which is good. AutoCAD, and then I can call this ceiling top export. You open or import it in. There it is. Thank you. And copy. Here I make a new layer already. I can make this layer active, and I think if I paste this one in, then no, it does not actually do this automatically. I was curious. But we know we can simply move it to ceiling there. Yeah. And then how do we line this up? I mean, this is extremely complicated. We just snap the interior wall edge with the interior wall edge. Bang. There. You see now here also, again, now what I said with the ceiling, how these lines here I didn't do in the Blender model, because it will line up now with the window part here. There we see how this extends it. Okay. I mean, everything what I show you right now here is just one way how to do this. Please feel free to mix and match and experiment. You can literally really explore things. What, for example, we would have to do is also place the icons for the ceiling, for the windows in there, and then style the lines. If we, let's say I change it to this, we will use everything on one layer and then give the layer a style. Now you have to be careful. Is this actually all really, for example, correct? No? And we have to be sure that if we apply a value to a layer, that only on that layer is everything that should be drawn that way. Okay, anyway, this is really good. Then let us quickly do an elevation view outside, for example. And then, or we can do this from the inside, and then I will show you how we bring this over into AutoCAD. So here we are. I will create a new collection and put all those in there. Very good. So we will use this one. So in edit mode, here again, as always, just select the faces which are important. Again, this is just the beauty behind it. Very nice. There. Now I will actually on purpose select these segments here because they will glue then later everything back together. And as you see here, I do not select then these lines, because if this overlays there, you can see how this will work. Very good. There, chuck, 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 chuck. And we have quite an amount of windows, I know, but this is done pretty fast. Okay, very good. Nice. Also here, this line, we don't need this. This bottom one, we need this one. Here, this bottom one, we don't need. But this pretty much is it. Okay. Beautiful. Shift D and escape. P and separate. Tab, select the piece. M, scene collection, hide this. So here we compress this along Y. There we are. And then apply scale. Right click origin to 3D geometry. Very nice. I go into edit mode, select everything, U, and U, and you can dissolve. I will do one quick cleanup. And then if I click around, most times it should work. You see that this one is, how could I say that? It's not fused to it, but it doesn't necessarily really matter for the AutoCAD one because this will be an individual line we can select in that style. You also can see here how it looks like a little bit of line salad, but this is because, well, there are these individual elements overlapping now. So this basically means from this elevation view, some of these parts we might not really see. No, there. So this part we might not. So I will, just for the sake of demonstration, so you see how I would prep something, select these lines. No, not you. And then these lines, I will right click and subdivide. Because then I have these points here. GZ, hold control, snap down to there. I think then later when we bring this over into AutoCAD, we get line fragments. So now I have a line that is above and I have a line that is below, so kind of like hidden. And then I have all these lines I can bring into AutoCAD and then style and show. So with this piece done, are we done yet? No, not really, because now we have to bring this actually over into also onto the y-axis 0. Now it has to stay there. Okay, good. Let's hide this. No, wait, sorry. You selected Shift, select this, Shift H. I want to see this one now. Now here, this will be interesting because there we can select all this one time from the side and then you and you and then you and you. And that kind of actually is it now. Shift D and escape, P and separate, hide, there's that piece. SY0, Control A, apply scale, Y0, zack, we brought it back. So there's actually now our floor plan. You see also that the elevation is from the outside. The floor, obviously, the lines do not go to the outside. Okay. So, yeah, what can we do now? If we would project this over into AutoCAD, it would come over also exactly like this, no? As a vertical drawing. I want this to be nicely on the paper. So I will do a little trick. Here I will call this elevation. I know, maybe elevation original. Floor elevation original. And I also say this outside. Technically speaking, you want to say now what view. This is I think the south side. Okay, and I call this original for the simple reason. You know what? No, actually we can do it this way. We make it even, no, wait, this is going to be too complicated. Oh yeah, let's do it this way. Two ways, Shift S, cursor to world origin, suck. And then these two objects, right click, origin to 3D cursor. So you see how every object has the center point there. So when I rotate this, or I mean I rotate both, there, minus 90 degree for both. See, now I can say, okay, thank you. Please export this to a elevation view. Projection from top. There we are. Very good. Oh, but you notice something? This got rotated, so that was not good. So you see here this rotation. So apply rotation. And now export DXF. The thing was actually paper thin there. And then I can -90 and hue -90. Oh, I guess then 90 for both. Rotate this back. So, and then AutoCAD, open. There it is. And we can select everything and copy, go to here and paste, move this wherever you want. I will, for example, just line this up there. So there, and just move this a little bit away. Okay, now then we can give this its own layer or however you want to flavor it. So, how do we bring in interior walls? That's the last piece of demo, I think, which will be very good. Alt H, there we are. So Shift H, show this. Now for the interior walls, we modeled this space. So this is an edge that comes over. This is an edge. This is an edge. Here, this is an edge. Maybe this too. There, 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 there. Maybe this and this. They identify the height. Check. Okay. And now then also here, these. Oops, wrong one. Because we have so many pieces here, it's a little bit of click work. That's okay. And then we can do the same also there. And technically speaking, one time here and one time there, because I mean, I bring this in so maybe we can identify an elevation view. I mean, at least we have it as a reference. Okay, good. So I would say that's it. Shift D and Escape P, zack, same process. This is going to be very mass production, dissolve face in object mode, scale along Y to 0, Control A, apply scale, go into edit mode. This is really all. Here. Oh, interesting. Height and height. I have all these tiny lines here. They overlap. So we can keep them, or we bring in and fill these pieces. I will do this just with this one piece here. It's just so you understand. There. Okay. And later in AutoCAD, I will show you this other lines. It will still be there. Okay, but I think this might be more or less all Alt-H. So I want to select this piece here, and then I do a funny trick. GY, move this back to here, and then I go to this view, Alt-B, and draw a section, and then I can see, do you really capture everything correctly? Now there you can see it somewhat, Alt-B, it somewhat does. So you see, like, this part of the ceiling I have, but what I did not bring over is this edge. This actually didn't really come over. I'm not sure about this edge either, so Shift D and Escape, P, zack. Same process. So these two lines here, I will U and, oh wait, maybe this and U is easier to select. Control J to join. So there you can see this line here makes no sense because I will need to bring this one over. And then also this one. There's still part actually of the ceiling. Oh, this one I have. Okay, so just this one, Shift D and Escape. P, separate there. Welcome to 3D modeling. We compress this one more time. And there you start seeing actually how we get all that stuff together. I will pause you for 1 second. And I'm back because I wanted to verify one thing. I'm kind of like showing you 2-3 ways how to do this. And again, at the end, again, this is all really up to you to decide how you want to work. How do you want to structure it? For example, I brought over both the ceiling cut, but then also where the window elements are, the openings, and this can make things a little bit complicated. Now you see how much stuff we have here. So I was just thinking, what would be actually easier? So I'm removing some of these details. And you see here, this and this line I need. This is actually this vertical edge. And then this and this I can connect because, well, now there we can see where this goes to. And then here, this E and Z goes down to there. And then this is for that part. So this is maybe another method to maybe think about how these views can be created. So hue, this one you E and X, hold Control, click and F, and there we just join this. I do not know where this one comes from. This one seems also be a little bit odd. So there, delete, zack, and F. Oh, I have a really bad geometry piece there. Well, that is not acceptable. Oh, this must have moved actually. Okay, good. Snap corrected. So U and UF, we filled this in. This is connected. Here again, I am just removing some of these parts. And there. Yeah, 2. Technically speaking, yeah, this is also correct. No, because this line is part of this line. Again, we are prepping something for a section view. So we kind of like need to understand that not all the lines I have there right now are perfectly correct. Here, this is way too much knickknack, so I will just select it all, delete it, and then EZ over EX snap easy, go down, easy. Now let's see how I'm snapping there. Suck. Whoops, wrong point. And here, this inner line. So, what's going on with that one? Hello there. I'm not sure. Doesn't want to join the party. Okay. So you and you. I will select, right click, subdivide. So then this point I move over and there. E and Z. And you see how I'm snapping actually to the geometry, and then E and X, and bring this over. So there you can kind of like start noticing what is happening. This might be the more complicated part because you kind of like deal with three-dimensional spaces and how do we do all this? But once you kind of like get over the complexity and notice how I move this over to move this around, there we see, aha, so there's a piece missing. Here we have all those. They're too confusing, so we throw them out. There. Where is this line coming from? Ah, I see. This line comes from there. Good. Yeah, that makes sense. Ah, I have this one turned off. That's why they're not joining. Okay. But you see, by moving this on through, this is fairly logical, and it's very easy to understand all my sections. Would they be correct? I learned how to do these section drawings by drafting on paper. Oh my god, was this annoying, and then you need to verify everything. Okay, one more step here. 0, Control A, scale, very good. Then we bring this to 0. Also here, right click, origin to the 3D cursor. Now, because, well, this I bring over to here, there, there, and there. Now, there you see how this all lines up now. And we have to do the same thing along the x-axis. We rotate this -90, Control A, apply rotation, export selected, and I can maybe say in elevation, interior, wall, ceiling. So we just have the lines. And then we open this. And we might now have one issue. How do we connect everything? Copy, go to here. Yep. There, thank you. So how do we bring all this over? Not too complicated. Here we have this little buddy. He's very useful because we can use him to snap on this line. There, okay, good. Then all this I would like to put onto another layer. Very good. So, because now what I can do is simply move everything up. So from there, really straight up, suck. and that it should overlay correctly. Now this really at one point will start turning into a little bit of a cable salad. So it's up to you then to decide, do I want to do this, bring this over by hand, or is it okay when I have this and I know I can predict. So there's a material thickness for the wall, and I just draw these walls offset from these outer lines. Now this is also very easy to do. Okay, very good. So that was everything how to create then the plan view, elevation view, a possible section view. Then you saw the process I used. We can, if I go back one more time to something like this. So here you see I have these interesting cubes. And I will add one more cube. Let's say here. There's a cube. Make the cube nice and big. We will put the cube kind of like to there. Bring this over to there. Okay. So this one I will make a copy. Shift D and escape. I made a copy so I can hide the original one. And then these here will remove. Add a Boolean difference, this one, and you I will change into a wire. Ooh, look, there's our section cut. Kind of cool, no? So let's say like this. We would like to create an elevation view of a section from there. How can we do this now? That's kind of like the last step. It's also pretty easy. So this geometry now, because it's in real time, now you see I cannot select the faces. I will have to apply this modifier. Apply. There's no my geometry. That's the reason why I made a copy. And now all I need to do is, well, yeah, go ahead and make sure I select everything I need for my individual views. Same here. There. I'm selecting just the vertical lines. Doesn't matter if I selected the front or the back. This is all done. Very good. So hue, you, and you. They're all the same. Actually, I did not even need these lines because I have that already selected here. Very good. Here, this I have also selected. Here, maybe. This might make sense. The door we have. Yeah, zack, zack, this one. Okay. Because it's a copy, I will do now maybe I can say Shift D and escape, P and separate. Yeah, let's go with the same flow. Hide this, select this. In object mode, this is X, so I collapse it along X. In edit mode, remove all the faces. There, look at there. Now I have the walls and I see where all the windows are cut in. Beautiful. There are some dirty parts which we can clean up. Suck, suck, suck. All this delete here, just fill and then fill. So much fill. Just a correct fill. This point snaps down. Yeah, and honestly, that is how easy it is then to make a section cut. and then create the AutoCAD drawing for that. There, look at that. And the nice thing is, again, this is from the model. I know this is accurate. I don't really have to, how would I say that? Go into AutoCAD and then remeasure something. And with the way how the lines are, I can properly even go in and just give the lines the correct line weights. Yeah, very good. Perfect. Then now we do the usual stuff. Position orient and bring this over so it's a flat piece in AutoCAD. In this hopefully really short video, I will show you how we can export what we see here, the line work, into DXF and then send that to Illustrator so we can create interesting renderings of a plan view, section view, or such. This is a section cut through the building, so this would be perfect to bring into Illustrator and then visualize how a lighting plan, for example, could look like as a section and with light counts and all that stuff. Okay, so we will bring this over to AutoCAD. Same process as always. Now you can see everything is put down onto the ground. And there we are, and suck. Then we can go to Illustrator. I'm quite often complaining about Illustrator. I really don't like it. The better programs, but it can open DXF, and that is really a big helper. So, however, let's go more presets, and we make first a document, 17 by 11. So this is like a nice sheet of paper we could print out and hang into a gallery, mount on a wall, give a client. So now we have to map our, how could I say, drawing onto this. Now we could go to place. There we are. There's a section cut. There. Okay. Oh, pretty easy. But what about the scale? We don't really know the scale yet. So that's a problem. Okay, so let's delete this. Let's go over to here. This object is 22.8 wide and 10.99 high. Okay, so that's actually useful. Whoops, what did I do here? Copy. There. And bring those over simply so we have a reference. So 22 meters and 10 something. So we're in metric. In metric, that's the reason why I like this model. So as Imperial has much easier scaling because 1 centimeter is 1 centimeter, 100 centimeters is 1 meter, 1,000 meters is a kilometer. You don't have this 12 inches or 1 foot craziness and then the other insane things. So we essentially think about it this way. When we draw a rectangle, we are in, let's say, what happens when we go into meters? Now, this is really tiny, no? So let's say we go this way. So it's 0.22 meters and 85 centimeters. And you see that's it already. And then it's 0.1098. And the rest we can ignore. There. So this is now actually a rectangle that is to scale. So essentially we say, here I make one drawing, like I will change the paper format just so you can see to centimeters. 1 and 1. No? So this is 1 centimeter. This whole thing should be 10 meters. It's however 10 centimeters. So the scale factor here is pretty easy to understand. Now it's not 1 to 1. Now, with that in mind, when we go to place and we place this, the problem is we get this now, and that's not what we want. But let's do this. Actually, hold on. Let's do this one more time. You see, we have this rectangle, and I'm able to position this, by the way. Just realize that I can do it this way. So this is, yeah, 10.95. So it's a little bit off, and 22.7. Yeah, no. But you saw that when I make this first object, I can snap this one over it. I'm glad actually I did this because it also showed you Illustrator snapping is a disaster. It really is. So let's go place one more time. Check this out. We turn this on. Aha. Give me, please, a preview. So scale this to the artboard, original size. Now this is what I want. Now scale by. And now here we need to figure out what is what. So 1 unit there, 0.01. What about this? Okay, click. No, that's not it. Then do this again. Okay, let's say 1. What's this? Oh, look at this. Perfect match now, because we basically set 1 unit of the document. The document is in meters. That's the trick, is equal 1 centimeter in our document. So now this way we brought over our drawing. And when we select it, there you see now the numbers perfectly match. And that honestly is all how easy it is now to bring everything into Illustrator. Of course, then here on the layers, here we can start breaking everything down. Also here you can export everything at once or bring everything in step by step. Here this is a section view. So for example, here this line we would not necessarily see. This line would stop there. So this is all in a group. So this group we want to ungroup. There we are. And then this I can bring up. And this is kind of like where the wall would kind of end. Because then these are the plateaus. And this is the soil. Maybe we could cap it down here, or we put like a solid block under it. And these are the windows in the back. They look kind of funny, but they are really on the ground. And then here you see the cavities, the openings for the natural light windows. Here are our ramps. Yeah, and then basically that's it for how to bring everything over into Illustrator from Blender to scale without much craziness.